פה כבר יותר משבועיים וחוויתי את כל האזעקות וכל הכאבים, וגם ראיתי דברים נפלאים. אני חייב להודות לזמרת רוחמה רז, שלא יכולה להיות איתנו הערב, שבא איתי ועם שי בן גיאד, סליחה, שעובד לג'נס, שבאו איתי לבקר את החיילים ולתת להם המוצרים שלנו ולחזק את ידם, והם החזיקו את ידינו. אנחנו מתפללים שיהיה להם עם המוצרים ועם הרופאים הטובים ביותר בישראל החלמה מהירה ורפואה שלמה. אוקיי, המוצרים של ג'נס שאני המצאתי זה לומנס, והלומנס זה מבוסס על תאי גזע, stem cells. What are stem cells? Stem cells have three characters. One is they can self-renew, then they can become other mature cells, and they can repair and regenerate damaged tissues. That's what is the definition of a stem cell. Everybody has stem cells in every part of their body. There are different kinds of stem cells. There is embryonic stem cells, cord blood, placenta. Most of the stem cell technology that we have known is about 30, 40 years old, and it's from bone marrow. They've been using it for treating cancers, and we have a lot of experience with that. What I use are adipose-derived stem cells. Adipose means fat. So adipose-derived stem cells are basically cells that we take from the fat, separate them, get the stem cells, and they have the ability to become fat, to become bone, to become cartilage, to become muscle. So they're the ones that really repair all the tissues in our body. And the great thing about them is that they know when we place them into the skin or into an area in the body, like in the joint or in the muscle, they know what the problem is, and they will fix it automatically. Okay, so we take fat, we take the fat cells here, this is where the stem cells sit, and then when we separate them, they come down here, and when we grow them, they look like this. And this is with special stains. And this is when we look at what they produce when we're growing them. They talk not with words, they talk with chemicals. The chemicals that they produce are these cytokines and growth factors, and there's over 200 of them. And what they do is they tell the body what is needed and how to correct itself. So we're really changing medicine by using stem cells. It's really a revolution in medicine, just like antibiotics and lasers were. Okay. So about 15 years ago, I started dealing with stem cells using the person's own fat and using it in a surgical way. Not to use creams, but in surgery. And I use it to repair tissues after cancer treatments, and we use it for tissues for cosmetic, and we're now using it for joints like knees and wrists, and we're also using it for autoimmune skin diseases that till now we didn't really have a great treatment for, and these cells are helping to improve those. Here's a patient who had cancer removed from here, had radiation, and could not get fixed through regular surgery because they didn't have enough blood flow. Using the stem cells, it took about 8 treatments, and we corrected the defect and all the pain and the sensitivity that came along with it. This one is a cosmetic patient. She didn't want to have a facelift, so we injected her and gave her back the volume, and she looks better. Here's another cosmetic patient that we did. We didn't do any surgery, no cutting, and you can see the improvement in the skin. Now those growth factors that we talked about, that I showed you the list of, that's what's making the skin look good, because we're not injecting the lower part of the face or all of the areas. We're just injecting certain areas to give the volume, the sculpting effect. But the growth factors are improving the skin overall. Here's another patient we did with the same changes in the skin. And here you can see the changes in the skin here, right here. And one day, these two people walk into my office. Randy and Wendy are the owners of Jeunesse. They came to me because Randy had knee pain and wanted to get his knee injected and didn't want to go through surgery. We met, I injected his knee, he got better, and we started to make a friendship. And he asked me, so what else do you do besides injecting these things? So I go, I've been working on a serum that we're using for, we developed it to treat burns and to treat ulcers. And here's a burn patient that we did a month and a half later. It was all healed. Here's the ulcer. After 2 weeks, that wasn't healing. It started healing. And he was really interested in the product. And he said, so what is that? What else does it do? I said, well, you can just put it on the skin and it makes the wrinkles better. So he said, great, let's make a company. And here's Jeunesse. So Luminous was created out of that meeting and that treatment. And basically it's a revolution not only in the medical world, but also in the cosmetic world. The cosmetic world till now has been using artificial or plant-derived products. We've never put on our skin something that our own cells make in the way our bodies are used to. So putting on the serum, you're really going to use the mother's milk and not something that's trying to be mother's milk. Because this is what your cells make, this is what they recognize, and that's how they respond to it. Because we're using just the growth factors, there is no cells, there are no live cells in our products. It's just these growth factors. And these factors are really the language of the cells. And
זה טכנולוגיה שמחדשת כל הדברים בתחום הקוסמטיקה, גם בתחום הרפואי.
This is a new paradigm in thinking. There's a new way of thinking about stem cells, because until now we had to put something on and see what it is. With stem cells, basically, we're taking what the body already knows and putting it on and letting the body figure the path for what it needs. It's a really different way of thinking about things. So, unlike other products where you need a vehicle for the product to penetrate the skin and affect the skin, with Luminous serum, and we don't need a vehicle since it's your own product. It goes in through the pores, through the skin, where the hair is, where the oil glands are, where all the defects in the skin that we have throughout the day as we make abrasions on the skin, all that creates openings. And therefore, it will penetrate through the skin without needing a vehicle. And it will start the healing process. So, as we said, there's no stem cells in the product. There are no cells at all. It's just the growth factors. It's a very important point. It has no animal components. All of it comes from human cells that come from the fat from my patients who give consent to me to use their fat for this purpose. It is a sterile product because it comes from the laboratory. It's a sterile product. There's no bacteria, no fungi, no viruses. It is checked for and is the most natural product you can put on your skin. So what happens when you put on the serum and it penetrates into the skin? It starts to replenish those growth factors and the proteins that are missing or that are not in balance in the skin. So this process causes a little bit of a detox reaction in some people, or it starts to gradually start to heal and repair the tissues. It improves the elasticity, the collagen, even some of the discoloration will get better, but it's not meant to treat discoloration. But because it has all the growth factors, it will improve it. People, after using it for about 3 months, they start to notice the change in the skin texture, in the skin moisture, in the overall feel of the skin. So the way this works is that you need a little bit of product to get a lot of results. And the reason is because once you put it on the skin, it penetrates, it starts to affect the cells that are there. Those cells will start to affect the cells next to them. And it creates a domino effect. So this is called a paracrine loop effect. So as you put one, it creates a domino effect. The cells get the signals from the serum, they produce signals, and they in turn affect other cells. So your cells around this area will start to do what they need to repair the skin. This is very unique. Not many products can do this. And you can see after using it, you can see the improvement in the skin. And the neck is probably one of the hardest areas to show an improvement. And you can see the color changes and the skin is a lot smoother. And here's the patient just decided to put on one hand to see if it makes a difference. And obviously after a month, this one was a lot better. So really we're redefining youth. We're redefining how we age and how we repair the aging effects on our body. So to have proper skincare, you need to do 3 things. One is to balance, then is to replenish, then is to repair. So to do this, we have 3 basic steps. The first step is to clean the skin. The second one is to treat it, and the third one is to lock in the protection and protect it. The effects from the environment, from the sun, from being in air conditioning areas, or to be in areas where we smoke, all of those things affect the way our skin is and the health of our skin. So the first step is to cleanse the skin. The cleanser helps to reduce the debris and the dirt on the skin. It helps to open up the pores. It helps to balance the pH, which is important. And it reduces the inflammatory response of the skin. So therefore you get a more better quality of skin, so you can have an optimal effect from the serum. Okay, so the serum, we have 1 pump is enough for the entire face. You use it in the morning and 1 pump at night. After we wash, we just dab dry and we put it on. And like we said, it takes about 3 months to really see the changes, because we're looking at cellular changes. We're looking at the changes that are happening on the skin after all the changes have to take effect, which is elastin, collagen, the new cells that have to come out and be made into a new format, new blood flow. So all that takes time. And when we do it, and we're patient enough to do it, you see the results. So once we put on the serum, we need to lock in the effect, and to help protect the skin. So the morning moisturizer does two different things. One is it locks in the moisture. It helps penetrate the serum deeper into the skin, and it protects the skin from the environment by having a physical blocker, because there's different kinds of sunblocks. There's a chemical blocker and there's a physical blocker. A chemical blocker is likened to a screen, so the sun still goes through it a little bit, but it has a protective effect. But a physical blocker physically blocks it as a solid shield. So that's what's in here, and I think that works much better, and it has less toxic effect on the skin. So this one is a must for every person who wants to keep their skin looking young. They got to do the step of protecting it. Then at night we don't need the sunblock. I'll take questions at the end. At night we don't need the sunblock. So we have the other effects that we need to do in a synergistic effect, that they work together. So we have a set of growth factors and a set of antioxidants in the morning, and a different set of growth factors and antioxidants at night that work synergistically together. So this one is more moisturizing and more in terms of healing and repairing the moisture of the skin. Then we have to use it for the body, but those things are hard to use everywhere in the body. So we've created a lotion that you can put on the body, and it contains basically the antioxidants, the moisturizers, and the growth factors, so that you can use it in the body. Obviously, the percentage of the growth factors in the serum is the most concentrated, and in the other products are less concentrated. We did a clinical study, to prove that our product works. It was not done by me. We sent it out to a third lab, so it would be not biased. And they used the most modern techniques of looking at skin changes and looking at how the skin responds to cosmetics. All the big companies use these firms. And they looked at two things: wrinkle reduction and pigment spots. So they looked at deep lines, the lines that are very obvious, that are deeper, and they said that when they used it, they saw 65% of the patients improve within 56 days. So basically within 2 months, they saw improvement. At the same time, the fine lines, they got 50% better. And the pigmented spots, they got 44% better. So overall, everybody saw a pretty significant improvement within 2 months. Then they did a survey saying, okay, so you used it for 2 months. Would you refer other people to do it? Did you like it? And all of the people said they would recommend the product to other people. Over almost 90% of the people said they saw that their skin looked younger, and they felt the skin being smoother and better. And 74% felt that it was tighter, that they had more elasticity to it. And all of this is within 2 months. So we have now a new product that we've developed that is available. It's the firming mask. So unlike the other products where you put it on and you have to wait to see the effect, this does completely the opposite. This one you put on and you see an immediate effect. So it has, from a vitar plant, they have fibers in there. They have it forms a matrix. And basically we've used that in conjunction with the growth factors and glycosamides, which basically are sugars that hydrate the skin, with antioxidants and vitamins. So it has all these great combination of products. When you put it on as a mask, you layer it on, you let it sit, and it dries, then you peel it off. So what happens is, once you wash your face and you do this, you've taken off all the dead skin cells, you've made everything penetrate better, and then you can go and put on the serum and the morning moisturizer or the evening moisturizer. But what's great is that you see an instant lift because of that matrix forming. And a lot of people, you can use it on the face, you can use it on the neck, and you will see an improvement in the skin almost immediately. And it'll last probably about 5 to 6 hours. So that's basically the talk that I have for you today. I know you've been very patient with all the technical things. They gave me a list of questions. And this is a cosmetic product. It's not meant to treat medical conditions. So I can't tell you to use it, but I don't know what happens if you use it. We don't know. So what is the cumulative effect of the prolonged use of the growth factors? So what happens if I use the growth factors for a long time? If you use the growth factors for a long time, your body is always aging. We don't stop aging. So what happens is your body adjusts to it and maintains itself. If you stop it, your body now goes and starts to age without the benefit of the growth factors, and then you'll have to go back to use it and start again. Some people, if they're getting overstimulated, they need to stop it to let the body detox and then go back. So usually if you get like little bumps or some reaction, like a little bumps some people get, they can stop it for about a week or two. The bumps will go away, and then you can go back to it, and it'll usually not come back, and you can continue to use the product. You can use it in people with acne, and you can use the moisturizer with people in acne. All the products that we have are non-comedogenic. That means they're meant to be used in all sort of skin types, including a question about psoriasis. Again, this is a cosmetic product. If you want to use it, you can use it, but we don't treat psoriasis. There are no animal products in there, in the serum again. Okay, people ask me if this is FDA approved. This is a cosmetic product. Cosmetic products needs to be registered with the FDA, and it is. They don't need to approve it like they do a device, a medical device. It's not a medical device. It's not written because no company writes FDA approved, registered. It is. It's registered with the FDA. If you find that the cream is not moisturizing enough, you can use the night cream more often, and it'll give you the moisture. Okay, I'm going to take a few questions to make sure we've covered everything since all these things happened. So let's start from the question is, does it work better in older women or faster? What happens when you're young, you don't need so much as you get older. And you don't see the changes as much. When you're older, this elasticity is not as good as when you're younger. The skin is not as tight. So when you're repairing that and your skin is beginning to improve its elasticity and getting to look more youthful, it's more noticeable. But in a younger patient, you also don't see it visibly, but it's still working.
אני סובל מויטליגו כבר 30 שנה. ואני יצאתי לכנס הזה בצו 8, אני תושב אשקלון, ואני שמח שהזדהית איתנו קודם כל במצב הזה במדינת ישראל. המצב שאני נמצא בו 30 שנה, הויטליגו.
לצערי, אין דבר שעובד ממש טוב על ויטליגו עד היום. אין לנו שום תוצאה טובה מהסירום או מהגרוס פקטורס, עדיין לא.
בכל מצב, תודה רבה לך שעזרת, ואני מקווה מהשיחה שלך שתעזור פה לעוד אנשים.
תודה לך שבאת.
בדברים שאני שמעתי, תאי גזע עדיין גם ברפואה לא הצליחו עדיין להתגבר כי הם גורמים לסרטן בסופו של דבר. והם לא דברים שמומלצים גם ברפואה, גם בניסיונות שעשו על המון בעלי חיים עכברים, בסופו של דבר גילו שתאי גזע בסופו של דבר הם מזיקים.
שאלה טובה. It's a good question. So, does everybody understand the question? Okay. Like I said, the oldest treatment that we do with stem cells is using the bone marrow for cancer. So that idea that all stem cells will lead to cancer is not true, because they're using it to treat cancer for 50 years. Most of the people who do research on stem cells are using one of the other types of cells that we talked about, embryonic cells for the most part. And yes, and most people have had a lot of problems with those kinds of issues and other issues. They just can't control it. The patients that I treated in my clinic with their own stem cells, we don't grow them, we don't change it. So their cells are what they're going to do in their body. And all the 15 years I've used it, I've never seen a problem. And that's using the cells. In the serum, in the luminescence line, we're not even using cells. We're just using the growth factors. So the chances of anything becoming cancerous is almost nil.
אתם משתמשים בהורמוני גדילה, נכון?
מה פתאום?
בגורמים שהם...
The growth factors, this is what we call them for general public. They are cytokines, interleukins, prostaglandins, that they are producing, the cells are producing.
מתאים אנושיים של בני אדם.
נכון. נכון.
טוב.
תאים אנושיים מהאדם, and I said, it's physiological. זה מה שהגוף מייצר כמו שהוא. זה כמו חלב אם.
האם המוצרים מכילים פרבנים?
לא, לא, אין פרבנים.
ב-SLS, המוצר ניקוי שנשטף במים?
לא צריך גלוטן.
4 סוגי דם.
לא.
האם כולם מדברים אותו דבר?
זה לא קשור לסוגי דם, זה תאי גזע. זה בא מהשומן, לא מהדם. לא, זה לא דם. הדיאלוג זה לא דם. זה סייטוקינים. בגלל זה קוראים לזה growth factors, כי זה קשה להסביר למישהו שלא מבין. זה לא דם, זה כימיקלים. זה כימיקלים שהתאים משתמשים לדבר אחד לשני.
האם היא טיפולית? זאת שאלה ראשונה. וכמה פעמים בשבוע אפשר להשתמש בה?
The mask that we have is very gentle. You can use it every day. אפשר להשתמש בזה יום-יום. It has a lot of different things in it. So I wouldn't call it an herbal mask. It's not a true herbal mask. It's more complex. זה לא שום דבר פה זה לא תרופה. כולם קוסמטיים. הכל מוצרים קוסמטיים.